Good evening, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Demystifying the Mystery of Nibiru, the nightcomer, piercing star, and the coming crossover. In these videos, we bring you the divine truth, nothing else but the universal truth as revealed by the sovereign Lord of the creation in his last revelation to the seal of prophets. Peace and blessing be upon all of them. Now, once again, I'll try to take you where no one else dares to go, simply because they lack the knowledge. They don't have this knowledge. That's why we are trying to share this knowledge with you. So we try to show you a new perspective, hoping you'll enjoy and learn a few things you might benefit of. So let us start. The topic of tonight is mainly made of two parts. So the first part will deal with the coming crossover of the dark star and how it will uncover the lost city of gold of El Dorado. But the second part is a more bit of intricate topic, but it is about announcing the location and the content of the Ark of the Covenant, which was revealed by the awaited Mahdi, revealing the secret of the companions of the cave, the dormant giants from ancient times, with their dog watching on them at the entrance of the cave. But first, let us hear what's been said about the city of El Dorado.
Have you not considered how your Lord dealt with Ad, with Iram, who had lofty pillars, the likes of whom had never been created in the land, and with Thamud, who carved out the rocks in the valley, with Pharaoh, owner of the stakes, all of whom oppressed within the lands, and increased therein the corruption. So your Lord poured upon them a scourge of punishment. Your Lord is in observation.
Okay, welcome back. You know, before continuing, I would like to make an observation. You know, there are so many videos and most of them are focused on the gloom and doom about this Planet X. The thing that we see, this planet, or it's actually a star, a dark star. The way we see it is we see that it has got, like any other event, big event, it does have got two sides to it, okay? It's got a dark side and it's got a bright side to it, okay? Because this is a life-changing event that we are going to witness very soon. And I know that there are many people who don't believe in this, but never mind. I am talking to those who are trying to find out more truth in order to make up their minds, okay? So, as I said, the coming crossover will be doom and wrath on the wrongdoers, on those very arrogant who don't want to listen. They only listen to themselves. They only listen, you know, they don't trust the Lord of creation, okay? And for those who trust the Creator and trust His word and His promise, at the end of the day, this crossover will manifest for them the glad tidings that were given in the promise of the divine Creator of this universe. So let us not forget this. So depending on our behavior, on our attitude in this world, we'll get the reward or the punishment. Sorry to say that, because that's the way it is. You know, truth be told, whether we like it or not, I mean, we try to demonstrate to you from the past that this is not the first time that this dwarf star crosses close to Earth, and each time, of course, it's not the same, because depending on how close to Earth it's gonna cross. Okay. So once that's said, let's continue our topic of tonight. You remember in my previous video called Reminders from the Past, where I pointed out to the previous and the last crossing. So the previous to the last was 18,000 years ago. And it talks about two ancient civilizations, Ad and Thamud, who vanished and got buried under the sand dunes, mountains of million metric cubes of desert sand, which is today the empty Qara Desert in the Arabic Peninsula. Okay, and so today all the remains of those two civilizations are buried under the sand. The civilization of Thamud and that of Ad. For those interested, you can check that. It occurred in different locations in the Book of the Creation, chapter 69, which you can see it in my previous video, which is called The Inevitable, gave us a clear picture of the consequence of the crossing of that time, the kind of cataclysm which struck the people of both civilizations. Further on, in chapter 89, which is the dawn, which you just heard a while ago, we had a short description, yet very neat and very clear, and this significant description of the city of Iram, of the people of Ad. And you know, you say, how can you prove that it is the known city of El Dorado? You see, many legends, they speak about the city of El Dorado. Indiana Jones have made movies about it, but till today they don't know where this city is. Some people think it is in South America, in the Amazonian region. Other people think that it is in Africa, and they are confused about it. But here in the last divine book of Revelation, the Lord of creation informs us when he says about the city of Iram, who had lofty pillars, the likes of whom had never been created in the land. Okay, so these are the words of the creator of this universe, his testimonial that this city with this lofty pillar was never built before in the land. The land, that means the surface of the earth, have never seen such a glorious city. Okay, so moving further, an ancient city which had lofty pillars all covered with gold, a city like which had never been created on the surface of this earth. It is the lost city of gold of El Dorado, buried under the sands of empty Qara Desert of Saudi Arabia. Okay, so some ancient Arabian manuscripts speak of an ancient lost city where houses had silver domes, cupolas, the doors covered with gold, the walls covered with silver. It's actually unbelievable the way that this city was described. And now we do have the proof from the book of creation that this city is actually this city of Iram, of the people of Ad. Okay, these were ancient people. So further on, there is a description, I mean we saw it in the previous video, that the people of Ad, they were destroyed by the screaming wind which struck the city and caused the gold to melt as if a hot wind melts the wax of a camel. Such was the wrath of your Lord. It was a punishment. Okay, the Lord of the universe decided to punish the people of Ad because we do have description that these people, as I said, they were too arrogant and they tried to harm the messenger of the Creator, and even though he spent a long time trying to convince them, you know. So your Lord poured upon them a scourge of punishment because they were arrogant and refused to obey his message. Observation. To all who are listening, please try to save yourself and loved ones, because nobody will come to our rescue unless we prepare and take measures. Okay? So the awaited Mahdi Nasir Al-Yameni revealed the fact that the coming crossing of the night comer of what's known with the name of Nibiru, planet X, this coming crossover will blast the million metric cubes of sand off, which the lost city of gold is buried under. Thus, these strong winds this time, they will uncover the city of El Dorado and actually all that part of the world, in all that region. Okay? And we do have in other prophecies foretold 1,400 years ago by the last messenger of the divine Creator that at the end days, that whole region of the Arabic Peninsula will turn into a rainforest region as it used to be before, with flowing rivers. Okay? Personally, I believe also that they had breathtaking pyramids and technology of those pyramids, because there is another chapter in the book of Revelation that speaks that these people of Ad, they used to take well, in the book it's called a kind of spiritual factory. Factory is for transformation, with the wish that you'll have an eternal life. But it is this is my personal view, so I have to investigate this further on. But for sure they had this technology of pyramids, which will astonish those who will get to the opportunity to see them in the future. Mind you, I only covered one small aspect of the many more events which are to affect that region due to the coming crossover of the dark star, because we don't have enough time. So that said, now let's move on to the next part, which is the second part of this video, okay, and discover other great secrets. And as I warned you before, what I'm going to talk about now is for many people hard to believe. But I have no reason to lie to you. This is the divine truth, the way that it is. And sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, okay? So, let us go to a topic that's even more interesting than El Dorado. The story of the companion of the cave. We can't go all over the details in this video, so I'll try to cover most important aspects. One question keeps coming back. This question is as follows: does the event of the crossing have any relation with the blessed return of the real Messiah, Yeshua, known to the Muslim people under the name Isa, the son of Virgin Mary, peace and blessing be up on both of them? What about the two witnesses and the prophets who shall accompany the Messiah on his return? Okay, a mouthful of question. So the short answer, yes and yes, very much so. This event of the crossing have to do with the return, the blessed return of the Messiah, peace and blessing be upon him. Even though things could have happened differently, okay? So that means even though the return could have happened earlier, even before the crossing, but most likely the blessed appearance of the real Messiah will occur the way it was described in the last revelation, according to the word of the Creator himself. The way he informed in his last revelation in chapter 27 verse 82, the Lord of creation says, "And when the word befalls them, we will bring forth for them a creature from the earth, speaking to them, saying that the people were of our verses not certain in faith." Okay, so in this single verse, the divine description of the circumstances in which the blessed return will take place. The Creator says, after the word here explained by awaited Mahdi means the wrath. After the wrath befalls them, the mankind, we will bring for them, for humanity, a creature. I mean, the human beings are also creatures, okay? But this is one of the secrets in the revelation, and so many people would read this. Personally, I used to read this, but I could not understand it. Before that, we saw the appearance of the awaited Mahdi, who have explained exactly the meaning of these verses of the book of the creation. We will bring for them, humanity, a creature, the Messiah, peace and blessing upon him, from the earth. And here the explanation, where from the earth exactly? From the cave of the companions of the cave, speaking to them. Okay? That's being said. This is how the awaited Mahdi Nasir Muhamed Al-Yameni have interpreted this verse. Let me explain to you. In 2009, we set an international website called the Ark of the Covenant. This was by the order of the awaited Mahdi. And this website, the title project Ark of the Covenant was mainly an open invitation to people from around the world who are interested in discovering the truth and in witnessing the retrieval of the Ark of the Covenant and its content, and watch and witness it under the sun. Also bringing out 3 living giants by waking them up and their dog living. I'm not talking about a skeleton of skulls, I'm talking about living beings, but these are giants. Okay, so the description here is said, awaited Imam Mahdi said the tallest man of us nowadays will reach till the knee of one of them, because they are giants. These are 3 people, and I'm going to explain later on who exactly they are. They are very big, very tall. Okay, so the invitation was for people from around the world who are interested, to come and to witness this, all out of the cave, called the Cave of the Companions of the Cave, in one county in the north of Yemen, between Saudi Arabia and Yemen. Okay, so the condition was to bring media in order to stream a live streaming with this event, so that the people from around the world could see. Okay, but this is not a recording, it must be a live streaming of the moment that these portents are going to be brought out of the cave. Okay, so also considering the fact of hiring powerful machinery, crane and bulldozer, in order to remove stones from the wall that's built in the entrance of this cave. Okay, so this wall that's been built, it's also a wall that's been built long time ago by giant people, and in order to get the idea of the wall that's built at the entrance of this cave, think of the city of Baalbek. You have some pictures there on the internet showing the wall of Baalbek. They used such huge stones, a few tons. You cannot move them by hand. You need really sophisticated machinery in order to remove those stones of the wall, in order to free the access to go inside. Okay, those who built the entrance, those who built the wall were ancient people, giants. Seeing is believing, isn't it? Once the portents retrieved, awaited Mahdi promised to be present, so that he would call the name of the Messiah, peace and blessing be upon him, to wake him up. Now, by now, anyone watching this video is shaking his head. Heavy stuff, isn't it? Most of you are saying this cannot be real. Don't forget, my friends, reality and truth can be stranger than fiction. So how can the holy physical body of the Messiah, peace and blessing be upon him, be in the Ark of the Covenant? Was the Messiah, Yeshua, peace and blessing be upon him, really crucified? What is the real truth of what happened? And who did put the Ark of the Covenant in a cave somewhere in Yemen? After all, what is the story of the cave, and who are the dormant giants? Whom I said they are alive, they are not in graves. Because if you want to try to Google that, the companions of the cave, some people who have no knowledge, they claim, this is the cave where we find graves. Graves are for dead people. But here I'm talking about people who are still alive. They're being kept alive by the divine power of the Creator as portents and signs for the believer through what is going to come. Because if you go back to my other videos, certain events that we are about to witness, which are as a consequence of the common crossing, they are beyond imagination. We are going to see the first resurrection, meaning that we're going to see people of ancient time raised from the dead. They come out of their graves and they will walk among us. Okay? Add to that the coming of Gog and Magog. So you see, there are so many aspects and many topics, and those people who don't prepare themselves already before the crossing, after the crossing, once the sun rises from the west, the prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he said, on that day, any human soul that did not gain any knowledge and any belief before the crossing won't benefit anymore from any knowledge. And that's why we are trying to bring this information so that the people start becoming aware of what's coming, of the danger of the situation. Please understand, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And we are not asking you anything, just to have an open mind and think about it and put this information at the back of your heads, because it's very important. The day when the crossing will happen, events that are gonna come, mind-blowing, as I said, beyond imagination. So these portents, like the companions of the cave, they are left in that cave asleep for a reason. And so let us go further on with the topic. What is the story of the cave, and who are the dormant giants in that cave, the companion of the cave? Can you provide proof and evidence to support your claims? Oh my. So, many legitimate questions that deserve a detailed answer. Therefore, I think I will need even more than one video in order to bring you the answers. But for tonight, what I would like to tell you is that there is a whole chapter in the book of the creation speaking about the companions of the cave. These were three brothers. The first of them, Elias, which is Elijah. And these people are from a time which is between the time of Noah and Abraham, peace and blessing be upon all of them. So the first one, the main one, which was Elijah, he was the prophet. He was sent to a certain people in that region to bring them the message of monotheism, because those people at that time, they used to worship statues, okay? And they had diverse gods. They had for the god of nature, the god of sun, the god of rain, the god of marriage. They had different gods. So Elijah came to teach them that there is only one creator to this universe, But those people, they denied, they refused his message. And he had two brothers. These two brothers, Idris and Eliasa, okay? They were made also as prophets in order to support him. So when they went, all of them, all together, to the village, this last time they were threatened by death. They told them, if you don't get out of the city, we are gonna stone you and gonna kill you, okay? So the three brothers, Elijah with his two brothers, and they had their dog following them, which was a red colored dog. They said, let us go take a rest in that cave, and we'll see later on what we're gonna do, okay? So the divine creator said, we sent down sleep on them, so we made them go sleep. And this is a long story. So for how long have they been sleeping? So the duration of their sleep, how they woke up first time and then were made to go back to sleep, and how they are going to wake up this time on the event of the crossing, I will go into details in that. But the last thing which I want to mention is that same location, that same cave, we find also at the entrance a big dome, which is a natural dome. With it inside, therein the Ark of the Covenant. And inside the Ark of the Covenant, lying the holy physical body of the Messiah, as if he were asleep. Nothing changed in his body, okay? And there are other items also in the Ark of the Covenant. And this is another story. How come that the holy physical Messiah is lying in the Ark of the Covenant? Because on the internet you hear many people claiming that they have the Ark of the Covenant in Ethiopia. Some they claim they have it in Ireland. Some other people they claim they have it in the United States of America. The truth, the Ark of the Covenant is in the cave of the companions of the cave. And for tonight I think that'll be enough. So we'll go further on with details about this topic of the Ark of the Covenant and the companions of the cave next time. Thank you for watching and take care. See you soon. Goodbye.